Welcome back to Listen St. Louis with Carol Daniel on 9 PBS. Clarity, understanding, and empathy. Common values for those on the front lines charting a bold way forward for African Americans in St. Louis. Stay tuned as we talk to these change makers, visionaries, and overcomers. I'll ask the questions you want to hear and get the clarity we all need about the issues we face. That's next on Listen St. Louis with Carol Daniel on 9 PBS. Happy holidays from Listen St. Louis with Carol Daniel. Today, we head to Operation Food Search to talk about food, specifically the history of sweet potato pie and pumpkin pie, and the difference between dressing and stuffing. Kathy Jenkins of Kathy's Kitchen gives us insight on how her Southern food is made, and Dr. Tandra Taylor helps us understand how these holiday foods went from struggle to tradition. That's next on Listen St. Louis with Carol Daniel on 9 PBS.
Listen St. Louis with Carol Daniel is supported in part by Midwest Bank Center, Orvin and Latrice Kimbrough, the Betsy and Thomas Patterson Foundation, and the St. Louis Development Corporation.
Welcome to another episode of Listen St. Louis with Carol Daniel. As you can tell, we are not in our studio. We are outside, my friends. We are at Operation Food Search, and we are so happy that they allowed us to tape this holiday episode in their kitchen. But first, you have some things you must do. I need you to subscribe. Number one, it's so easy to do. Just click the subscribe button. And then after you tap that button, make sure you go to that button. There are two buttons. There's one, and then there's the other. This is the only one we want you to touch. The like button. Like this podcast, as well as share it. I read a beautiful sentiment on a Chicago food blog recently that I have to read to you. Food is a way to bring people together. When we sit down to a meal together, we're not just nourishing our bodies, we are nourishing our souls. Sharing a meal is a way to connect with others and to build relationships. Well, we're doing some building today. Yes, we are. We're going to talk about two, but food staples for the holiday meal. There is the pie, and we have sweet potato pie and pumpkin pie. And we're going to talk about dressing and stuffing. And this is my cornbread dressing that I am terrified for them to taste. And this is stovetop turkey flavored stuffing that I made straight from the box. And of course, I doctored it up a little bit.
Had to hook it up.
You had to hook it up because that's what we do. So let me introduce my guests to you. And I'm so happy that this young lady is back again. Dr. Tandra Taylor is with us, and she is an assistant professor in the history department at Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville. She is also the interim director of the Institute for Community Justice and Equity, and she is a food historian, but famously, she was a guest on our incredibly popular My Words show that we did celebrating the 160th anniversary of Juneteenth that was taped live at the Missouri History Museum. And your performance, I will say, the information you gave during that show, we were talking about you for weeks. So welcome back, Dr. Tandra Taylor.
Thank you for having me, Carol.
It's so good to see you. Good to see you. And we're going to talk about your sweet potato pie because she brought the sweet potato pie made from scratch, which she volunteered to make.
Thank you for allowing me to reintroduce myself as also a food practitioner. I love to cook.
Yay!
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have more questions.
Okay.
And requests.
Okay.
And requests. Next, when I say Kathy's Kitchen, many of you know exactly who I am talking about and what I am talking about. Kathy's Kitchen is in Ferguson, Missouri, and among the many things that made it famous internationally was when citizens formed a line around you and it to protect it during the Ferguson protests. Chef Kathy Jenkins is with us. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor to be here to share my
great to have you.
Love of food.
Hey, we're going to explain this fried chicken, which I was not expecting. And Kathy texted me this morning and said, "Can I bring some fried chicken?"
I'm so glad.
What is the answer to that question?
I'm so glad. I skipped lunch.
I skipped breakfast and lunch. So Kathy said, "Let me bring the fried chicken." And there's a story behind the fried chicken. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Because I'm hungry. All right, Dr. Taylor, can we start with a little history? Food practitioner and food historian.
Okay.
We haven't even always eaten pies in this country, in the world, really. So a sweet potato pie and a pumpkin pie, they are things that are still, I would say, really new to the diet.
So when you say we haven't always eaten
Yeah.
these things, you mean Black folks?
Yes.
Okay. So yes.
Let's be specific.
So now that we've clarified, dessert is typically not in traditional African culinary world, right? That's not a core staple in the African diet. Of course, we didn't come here as Americans or African Americans. We became African Americans. And so one of the things that we brought with us were our memory and food traditions. And so the sweet potato pie, I would say, emerged as a favorite of ours over time and lived experience. And as culturally we made changes through enslavement, through Jim Crow, and now it's like, oh, this is ours. It didn't always start, that way. Baking is an English culinary tradition that we kind of came by as a part of our work during enslavement. And so we learned to make things that the enslaved class preferred. We brought some of those tips and tricks and sometimes ingredients.
From West Africa. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sometimes ingredients from West Africa, from the indigenous community, from our enslavers, and we made something that is our own. And so sweet potato pie, I would say, as it is
one of those. So we have actual sweet potatoes. I could not find yams.
You won't find them
yams
in
right?
most traditional grocery stores in St. Louis. I mean, I can think of a couple places I've seen actual yams in the States. International food markets, famous farmers market in Atlanta. I know that I can find something like an African yam.
And I say yams because that was the African food staple that we did use in Africa.
That we did use as a savory starch, not as a sweet. And yam is a rough exterior looking brown kind of in the inside. There's white, fleshy, starchy, sometimes yellow depending on the variety. But it wasn't used as a sweet. It was used as a savory starch.
Like a porridge
it's pounded to kind of make...
Did I read fufu?
Fufu. So kind of think very durable mashed potato, right? So something that can kind of withstand and stand up against soups and stews, that sort of thing, and can be eaten with your hand. So not a thin puree, because you can't eat puree with your hand.
It
still needs to have some kind of like bite to it, to bite in terms of textural bite, to be able to sop up the rest of the things that are in your bowl, whether it's soup or stew or something like that.
And for those who just heard that word sop, who were like, sop?
Sop, what is sop?
Doing?
Okay. So sop, you're coming with the heat already.
Okay.
And so to sop.
I love that word and I love that action.
To sop something, so you have something in your plate, in your bowl that has some liquid, and it doesn't have to be like water liquid. The liquid can have some body. It can be pot liquor-y, if you will. So it has some thickness to it. And you take some starch, bread, fufu, we're talking about West African food traditions, and you do this sort of motion.
Yes.
So you take your starch, whether it's bread or fufu in this case, and you kind of swab, scoop, both. Swipe, scoop, swap, all of it. But what the point is to get what's the liquid and the ingredients in the liquid up to your mouth.
Yes,
So it's a vehicle to transport the other ingredients up so that you can enjoy your food.
We're going to talk about this pumpkin pie in a second, but Kathy, what makes for a good sweet potato pie?
Well, what makes for a really good sweet potato pie is, first of all, you've got to realize it's more than just a dessert. It is a love story from our ancestors. So it is telling you something, it is sharing something, it is making something more special than just the recipe. So I would say what makes it special is the story first. And I would say second, of course, the ingredients. And being together with your family to build that and make that story a new story for the next generation is what makes the perfect sweet potato pie.
I love that.
I love it.
And is this your mom, your grandma, your auntie?
This is my grandmother's recipe. And one of the things I like about what you're saying, Kathy, about the stories that go along with our food, this is the only recipe I've ever kind of known by heart, right, to make a sweet potato. And it yields 4 pies.
Ooh.
So that
How
and
many
of it.
sweet potatoes are you?
So 4,
Oh.
4, about this size. You
Yeah.
can use 4, but it yields 4 pies. And so I'm like, why would there be a recipe for 4 pies? And that kind of gets to the heart of the communal aspect.
That's right.
Of this particular food tradition,
Right,
especially.
one pie would never be enough.
Yeah, no. And then also
Especially
you
when
want
it's
to be able
delicious.
to share with neighbors, with extended family members you haven't seen in a while. You want to have something for them.
Now let's zero in on this pumpkin pie. I think that's the number. 50 million pumpkin pies eaten in the U.S. every year. 50 million. And here's the funny part. I've never had one.
I've never eaten a full slice.
Okay.
You know, sometimes you may be at a function that's outside of your home and you accidentally pick it up.
Now
and
that's
then-
my
and
experience.
then,
That's
yeah.
what happened for you.
with eating
Yeah.
pumpkin pie. Never in a black African American home have I ever eaten ever in my life pumpkin pie. But at functions, events, that's how I've been introduced to it.
Okay. And we can go back to the colonial settlers who they didn't do pie. They would stuff, I think, a whole pumpkin with various things and put it in the fire. That was the use of the pumpkin before it became dessert.
I think also when you think about sweet potato pie and pumpkin pie, it's not just time period, right, colonial period or more modern history, and it's not just race, right, like black folks prefer sweet potato or white folks prefer pumpkin pie. It's also a conversation about regional geography,
Yes.
right, like what grows where well. So when we think about conditions in the South, it favors the easy growth of sweet potatoes, whereas the North favors easy growth of pumpkins.
Okay.
And I mean, fast forward now, if we think about going to the grocery stores, many of us get our food, you'd be hard pressed to find like a steady supply of fresh pumpkin.
Yes.
But sweet
Right.
potatoes
All
seem
year
to
round.
always kind
Always
of
be
be
there.
handy.
Yeah, always be handy. Always be handy. And Kathy's Kitchen is a family business. Your husband is here. I've been calling her man.
Jerome
Jerome in the house is here. Who makes your pies?
I make all of our pies.
I had to ask. I
Well,
didn't know the answer.
Well, I have a daughter. My daughter, Micah Jenkins, she is the manager at the one location in Ferguson, and she bakes as well. So we keep all those family traditions alive, and I think that's why everyone loves coming and eating at our restaurant. We not only just give great food, we give you the atmosphere of love. What we're talking about, the
Yeah,
feeling of
yeah.
the holiday, that is what Kathy's Kitchen goal is to me, and this is why this was so important to me to be involved and asked to come and share my story. And thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You are so
much.
welcome. I was so happy you were available. Why did you start a restaurant and when?
Oh my gosh, 2013. So we are going on 14 years of business coming this July. And I started as an at-home mom. Just kind of got tired of kind of doing that, and I was really good at it. And before I knew it, I blew up on Facebook, opened up a restaurant, and we had our trials and troubles, but God is good. And so
Amen.
we are still here standing today. So I opened up Kathy's Kitchen for a love for food and to share with my community.
Was there a point during the Ferguson protests that you ever thought of, I'm done, I can't do this? Because it was such a traumatic experience for so many.
Oh man, gosh, this is what I love about the richness of our culture. I've never felt that way. I've always believed that there is a way. You know, if it's not that way, then it's that way.
Right.
So I've never, ever felt like I ever wanted to give up. And then I have such a strong, faithful husband, you know, to have by my side like that for 35 years. So my backbone is strong, and I've got one enforced behind me.
Yeah, he's tall backbone. He's tall.
So I never have, and I'm thankful that I can say that.
I have to say, and I think you know this too, that the community wasn't going to let you
No,
give up.
I've got much love for my community. And before all that unrest happened, I would feed the protesters. And that's Honestly, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have my story. So they protected the restaurant, made a human chain saying "No, not Kathy's," and that video made it all the way to Anderson Cooper. And it was the first video ever shown on television showing the protesters in a positive light. You know, so it really meant a lot, and it kind of changed the dynamic of what was happening in Ferguson. You know, it's all a part of the Black Lives Matter, and I'm all from that moment in time. And for me to just be written in that story, it means everything.
Because you study women and have studied, continue to study women and food practitioners, Black women historically as food practitioners. I just standing here with Kathy Jenkins makes me feel like we are standing in the presence of history.
Yes. I love this entire setup. For me, this is reminiscent of Black women's time together in kitchens doing some sort of communal activity, picking greens or shelling peas or something like that. So I'm actually thrilled that there is a food practitioner a part of this conversation this time. When we think about food practitioners, you know who my girl is, Abby Fisher.
I have my notes.
And the Abby Fisher cookbook, published by a formerly enslaved woman in 1881. And Abby Fisher makes her way from South Carolina to Alabama, out to California, San Francisco, actually, and she's working as a business owner. She has a food business. She and her husband are out there together, so kind of like you and your husband-wife
That
team.
support.
Yeah, you do. And they are real experts at making jams, jellies, and preserves. That is their jam. But Fisher has another skill. She's actually like a very well-renowned cook, but she could not read. So she...
It's remarkable.
That is.
It's really
memory.
impressive. Her memory
Yes.
is so sharp. So all of these recipes, we do have a recipe for sweet potato pie from Fisher.
In that cookbook from 1881.
From 1881. And she's dictating her recipes to her friends she's met in California who are helping her get this cookbook published. So imagine carrying around all of these recipes.
In your head.
In your head, also in a visceral way in your body. Doing what Verta Mae Grosvenor, another favorite food practitioner of mine, would say vibration cooking, right? So cooking by memory muscle. And so one of the things I noticed about Fisher's recipe for sweet potatoes is they use a lot less butter than I think we use now. And if I had to put money on it, I would say that perhaps the texture is not as smooth because the kitchen technology was different.
Yeah.
She's pressing the sweet potato through like a sieve. So think how some folks
Yes.
make mashed potatoes. It's not going to be quite as fine of a puree as something like one of these pies, but it looked like it would be indeed delicious. So similar to my sweet potato pie story that is for 4 pies, her potato pie recipe, is for 2 pies. So again, reinforcing this communal aspect of the work that she's doing, but also this particular dish that's become emblematic even as early as 1881.
We are going to taste this pumpkin pie on purpose because it was an accidental taste for you, and we have never had pumpkin pie.
A full slice. I may have
you've never. That's what you said.
taken a bite, and I'm
Yes.
like, oh, this isn't the right.
Well, do we have to eat the full slice?
Well,
It's a tasting,
Perhaps
right?
not.
It's a tasting.
I'm taking one slice out of here,
Okay.
and then we'll each take a
bite.
we'll each take a bite. This is a
That's
first.
Are we gonna do this first, and then the sweet potato, or?
I want to end on something I know I'm going to like.
Okay.
Amen, sister.
Thank you.
Okay. So you know what? I was going to say let's just all eat that one.
Yeah.
Shall we just
I'm
eat that
with
one
that one.
slice?
Sure.
Yeah, let's do that.
So I'm happy to take my bite.
Take your bite.
Now, I'll
Could you
pass
pass me a
it.
fork?
You're going to pass it?
Yeah.
I'm going to give you a fork, ma'am.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, there's a fork.
Yep.
I'm going to take mine.
Now, are we all going together?
Yeah, we should go together.
Yeah, let's go together.
Okay.
We should go together.
And they're going to zoom in on our faces,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
All right.
Okay, we'll put that back
1, 2,
down.
ready?
Ready?
Go.
Here we go. Very cinnamony.
Thick. On the tongue.
The custardy.
But
Not bad.
it's not bad.
No.
Not bad.
You know,
I feel like it needs more of everything.
Okay.
I'm not sure I like the texture.
I think it's quite thick. It lacks aeration, maybe
Yes.
from baking powder.
Yeah.
It's something I put in my pies to kind of get them to puff up and then relax.
And it could just be what the pumpkin does.
And it is
Yeah.
store bought. I did not make that.
Ah,
Okay.
okay.
My husband actually likes
You put it on that one. I'll hold it.
pumpkin pie.
You need to hold it for you?
Well, now I've
Okay.
used my
Okay.
fork to.
Let's see.
Here, let's
We
do
had a
this one.
fourth
Yeah.
fork.
I had extra forks, but
Okay.
Now this is not going to be cute. I'm trying to make it cute.
Okay. Right here. Oh, that's
Is that your
This
plate?
It's our test plate.
Is that your plate or mine?
Well, it
Test
was, but
plate.
now it's a test plate.
Oh, okay.
Okay, we just leave it on the test plate.
Okay,
Just
so
leave it on
here,
there.
yeah, we'll do this. There we go. So I cut it off with the end that I didn't eat
Got
from.
it. Got
There
it.
we go.
Got
Okay.
it. Okay. And I can tell the difference.
All right, now do the same.
You can tell the difference already.
If you look at the color,
Thank you.
see,
Yep.
you guys can see
Yeah.
the difference in the color there.
And the texture.
Okay, y'all wait. Now I'm not because I'm eating the rest of this, so I'm going to use the part that I'm using part of the fork.
All right, you ready,
Okay.
ladies?
Cheers.
Oh, cheers.
Already. Hit my lips. Hit my lips.
That is really good.
How is the
Thank
texture
you.
so different?
Well, first of all, it's two different. One is a potato, one is a pumpkin.
Okay.
You know,
That is so yummy.
Thank
that
you.
is
That is
very
so
good.
yummy.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a high
And that
praise
crust.
from you, Kathy. Thank you.
It is.
That
It
is
so good.
delicious, my friend.
That nutmeg.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Is there a little clove too?
No clove
What
in
about
this
all-
one.
all-
Let's make a-
allspice?
Not in this
allspice.
one.
No?
No. This is very, very simple, and all I can say is twice as much nutmeg than cinnamon.
That's it.
I don't taste cinnamon
Very
at all,
good.
but I do.
Really?
Taste, I do
Well,
taste nutmeg.
yeah, that's
yeah.
great.
Nutmeg can really be strong. Whatever
can.
you did, it's not as overwhelming.
Maybe it's balanced by the kind of like a depth of the
Yeah.
cinnamon.
That
I
is
do. I
really
do
good.
feel like I taste what creamy. Did you put in?
So
the aeration of
the dairy is Milnut milk,
yeah,
not Carnation evaporated milk, like the Milnut
it's
specifically.
giving that. It's giving that lightness. I'm gonna need you to make that for me,
I got you.
okay? Because I think I'm finished.
Yeah.
I think I'm done cooking for 10 people.
Okay.
I thought he made 4 pies. We can all take one, right?
Right.
I only brought one, but I'm happy to bring.
Thank you so much.
Bring the others to you.
Let me hit you with some more dates. We talked about Abby Fisher. That is, I think, the second written sweet potato pie recipe that we know of, but she was one of the first black one, 1881. Here's some other dates. The first recipe for a pumpkin pie with a crust came from a French pastry chef. That is 1651, and then an American cookbook in 1796. The most important date we are all going to walk away with is when Libby's first offered canned pumpkin, 1929.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, so here, when I see this, I see a conversation that is transnational. I see a conversation that is as much about geography, as much as it is what is this saying about what's happening in the United States and consumerism and food technology again.
That's right.
And so with the offering of the canned pumpkin, now you don't have to, be in a tizzy if you can't
That's right.
get
Right.
a pumpkin at your regular grocery store for folks who are wanting to have that pumpkin pie at the holidays, maybe,
Well,
a
whatever.
random Sunday dinner. I don't know, just to have
Right.
it as a dessert. There's an opportunity for that.
Made easy
Made
for
easy.
you.
Yes.
I've never bought canned. I don't even think does that exist. Canned sweet potatoes.
It
do.
does, but
Okay,
I wouldn't
okay.
do sweet potato pie with them.
I wouldn't either. I wouldn't either. Now we're going to move on to the dressing. This is stuffing, and it is stovetop turkey stuffing, flavored stuffing, and this is my mother's. And I say that I've changed it up a little bit. I used to make the cornbread from scratch. That was my job as a 10-year-old. was to make the cornbread from scratch in a cast iron skillet,
Yes.
right? And so I made this, not in cast iron, but I made the cornbread dressing. What is the difference just the ingredient, because this is bread and this is cornbread?
No. There's a really big difference between the two. This is called, stuffing was around first. Stuffing, they took white seasoned bread, herbs, and spices, and they stuffed it inside of the
Inside
meat.
the turkey.
You
right.
know, in turn there you see the name stuffing. When you got to the South and African Americans, we were poor. We could not afford white bread. Cornmeal was readily available. And so we made cornbread. And henceforth, their dressing, we started mixing it together, and we felt like, oh, how about we dress the pan instead of stuffing it inside of the turkey? And so that became the dressing around the dish. The cornbread mixed into what we call today dressing, and it was just extremely flavorful. We used all the drippings from the turkey,
Right.
you know, sage. You know, when you felt that and moved that, and over time, it kind of, I almost must say they emerged a little bit. My mom would make it and add bread into the dressing.
Okay.
You know, so
All kind of variations out there.
yeah, there are. There's several.
Absolutely. And this reminds me, though, of something that you and I talked about during the Juneteenth special, and that was the attitude that we had during the Great Migration to leave poor man's food behind. We did not, but cornbread and the stale cornbread that was used to make cornbread dressing, this was a poor man's food, not well respected, but loved.
But loved. I mean, like the sweet potato, the cornbread is also emblematic of Southern food culture. And people took that Southern food culture with them to various different places. You mentioned stale cornbread. In fact, that's like preferred. I have a friend who every year she posts the Wednesday before Thanksgiving. If you're just now making your cornbread, you're already too late.
Wow.
You don't even have time for it to get stale. So this is, try to get that cornbread made early so that it can kind of dry out.
It certainly is something that we would make either a day or two ahead of time. And I never really, I'm only realizing this now. I'm like, why is my mama making me make this cornbread?
Really?
A certain texture.
So it can get a certain texture.
Yes.
And I do, is we are going to taste. Now, I have had stovetop stuffing.
Okay.
Because in a pinch,
Yeah.
when I want this flavor, I will have this, I will go get this, and it's very inexpensive. So I have had that for sure.
Yes.
But you guys are going to taste my mother's remade, redecorated, redone,
reimagined.
reimagined.
Yes.
Yes,
Yes.
the story of this. But before we taste, I do want to ask you a couple of quick questions about running a restaurant in these days where the price of food is high.
Oh, yeah. Well, it is definitely high.
And what
and
is
it's-
that like for you now?
It's difficult, but we do everything online. Technology, we really use it. So because of that problem, we totally got rid of paper menus. We need to be able to go in there and change things, take things off the menu immediately because the prices have gone up. So to have the access to do that, I would say would probably be number one. And number two, I would say, is being creative with your menu. You've got to figure out more things to make out of one protein instead of multiple ones everywhere, so you can save money. The meat is always going to be the highest cost you're going to pay in your inventory. So to really control what you make with the protein you choose, I would say would be number two. So.
And have you had to cut hours? I mean, are our sales? You don't have to get totally specific, but how are things for you as a restaurateur in
as a restaurateur,
the holidays of 2025?
I mean, you have your ups and downs. As you know, you have a high season, you have a low season, and so you're always trying to manage everything around that. Because you realize that things just repeat themselves. So you try to prepare yourself to be ready for that. And like I said, we've been open 13 years, so we've kind of gone around.
You've weathered a lot.
Yeah,
You've weathered a lot,
and we've learned a lot.
Yeah.
So we know when to cut hours, when to do things like that. But it's the fall now, so we're just excited about adding new items to the menu and
Ooh.
get things
What's
you couldn't
new?
really
What's
sell
new?
in the summertime.
What's
we,
new?
We just did chicken noodle soup that I personally made for Hugh Jackman. Yeah.
Wait, who did she just say?
Hugh Jackman.
Yeah,
I
believe
believe
she's
chicken noodle
yeah,
soup.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
the rest, after he ate, he said, could I please take the rest of it home with me, put it in a jar. He took the soup home with him.
So you got Melissa Etheridge that ate your
Fish tacos.
fish tacos and Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, plenty more. We've had Harry Belafonte, Danny Glover.
That's awesome.
Nancy Pelosi. A list. I could
The
go
list
on.
is long,
Praise
'cause
God for that.
Amen. Amen. So we're going to taste these dressings, but as I am spooning these up, what is the story of? Because there's a
Oh, the
reason
fried-
there's fried
yes.
chicken here today.
Yes. My mom, she just really could fry chicken very, very well. And she just always felt like we need to have something with more texture at the meal other than just turkey and ham, that it should be something that we could bite into. So every year we always made fried chicken, and that recipe got passed on. And I finally bagged that recipe up, and this is it.
And this
Kathy's
is new.
Kitchen Fry.
Breaking news
Breaking
on
news.
Listen St. Louis.
It is, and it will be out next week. We'll be selling this on our website, kathyskitchen.net, and we also have our sauces as well, so you can go on our website as well and get that. But back to this chicken. We love fried chicken with the meal. We just were raised that way, so to have that.
So every Thanksgiving and Christmas
and
you
Christmas,
have fried chicken.
we always have fried chicken.
Listen, can I just grab here? You want to grab a piece of?
I would like
Yes.
a piece of chicken, please. Thank you.
And I'm going to get some.
Who said
What,
eat
we doing
chicken
the
on
dressing,
camera?
right?
I don't know, but I'm happy to see this
You better pick that up with your hand.
gospel bird. I tried. Pardon me. I've forgotten my way.
What are you doing?
All right.
Okay,
I'll take one.
and there we go. Now y'all lie to me.
Okay.
Okay, so this is the dressing.
So
can I get
this-
a fork, please?
Oh,
Yes, I forgot to grab one.
oh, I forgot to. Am I supposed to give y'all the stovetop?
well,
What we
yeah,
doing in
so
dress?
we can,
We doing both? Okay,
Yeah.
same time.
The stovetop, and I added
Okay.
turkey broth
Turkey broth.
to the stovetop.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, hang on. And you see how little I gave myself. All right, let's go with the stovetop first.
All right.
I can't even get it in my mouth. There's that bread.
Mm-hmm.
There's that bread.
That is bread.
Yeah.
I do like the seasoning.
Mm-hmm.
There's a crunch of celery that I think I like.
Did you add that?
I did not.
Oh, okay.
I just added turkey broth. That was it.
Okay, so now we're doing the
Doing the
dressing.
Doing
dressing?
my dressing that they're going to lie to me about. They're going to tell me how yummy it is. I'm not sure.
I can taste that sweet
Now there
Jiffy.
is celery in this one.
Sweet
could-
Jiffy. Yeah.
I
There's
grew
definitely
up
celery.
with Jiffy dressing. My mom. She made hers from Jiffy as well.
Now, what I would have done, y'all, is I would have opened up this can of cranberry sauce.
Now that's the debate: canned cranberry sauce or fresh
Is
cranberries.
that okay?
I'm not doing fresh cranberries.
I set that on there. Okay.
I've not done that yet.
I'm also team canned cranberry sauce. I love it.
So do you do the whole berry?
Jellied, smooth.
Just doing the jelly.
Good fresh.
Oh, that's so good.
Oops.
That is so good.
That's
Get
what
you another.
happens when I'm trying to
Be
use
dainty.
a fork
All right.
for fried chicken. I know
Yeah, but
better.
it's still crispy. This long.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. Thank you all so
I needed that
much.
little
Did I have a
snack.
napkin?
Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Terrible hostess. Terrible hostess. Thank you, Dr. Taylor. Thank you so much. It's a
It's a
joy
pleasure.
to have you always, expanding our understanding of the history of the food that we eat, because there is history to
Without
the
question.
food, without question, to the food that we eat. And so thank you, and happy holidays to you.
Thank you. Same.
You're
And I'll get you
fabulous.
that pie.
Yes, today? No, I'm just kidding. Kathy, it's so good to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank
I'm
you
just
for
honored
coming.
to be here. And it was such a pleasure to meet you as well.
Likewise.
I just happy that we all met today.
Absolutely. And we kind of did not, but did plan to be looking as festive as we do. So we thank you so much for joining us. And because it is the holiday season, we'd like to take a break
Yeah.
on Listen St. Louis with Carol Daniel. So we want to thank you so much for tuning in. And thank you so much for this season 2 as we head towards the holidays. And you know what comes after 2 is 3. So we are working right now on season 3, which every time I say it, I cannot believe that we made it through season 1 and season 2 and now season 3. So I am going to leave you with a quote from Southern Living that I found a couple of weeks ago. May your happiness be large and your bills be small. That's very applicable.
I love that.
To today, for sure, for sure. We want to tell you happy holidays, and as we take time off to enjoy our family and friends and continue this work to get season 3 ready for you, we are going to bring you more insightful conversations with impactful people in the St. Louis region. After that May tornado, we are reminded of how fragile life is and how quickly things can change. But I was reminded of how connected that we are and how connected we should in fact be. Yes. And so we go into the holidays and into season 3 with that in mind. And we are so glad that we are connected to you and you are connected to us. And we end this season with some delicious food and incredible colleagues and friends. And we want to thank Operation Food Search for letting us tape in their kitchen. We have a conversation coming up about how they are faring this holiday season as well, given all that's going on in the economy. So we thank them for allowing us to come and tape in their kitchen. Thank you, Operation Food Search, so much. We appreciate you, and we will see you for season 3 of Listen St. Louis with Carol Daniel on 9 PBS.
Listen St. Louis with Carol Daniel is supported in part by Midwest Bank Center, Orvin and Latrice Kimbrough, the Betsy and Thomas Patterson Foundation, and the St. Louis Development Corporation.